a whole new world has just opened up for me basically this month, even though over the years since I started listening to you, I'm looking back and seeing how it all worked, and now I'm learning how to fine-tune it. And I'm feeling like I'm in the vortex, or in the feeling I'm with Source most of the day. I feel like I've got a bubble of protection, and
the vortex doesn't provide any protection.
No.
It just has such a pure point of attraction that no stuff you don't want gets in. But it's a different way of looking at it, isn't it?
I'm putting more and more things into it, that I feel like I should be able to.
The vortex doesn't keep anything out. It's just very clear about what it draws in.
Right.
Can you feel the distinction? Protection is different.
The only thing that, as I look back into my life, as how I manifested and how some things I did get things and some things I didn't, but some things I was surprised how I did get them, even though I felt like I had a lot of resistance along with them.
If your desire is really, really strong desire overcomes resistance. Strong desire and strong resistance makes for a really tense life, but strong desire can overcome a lot of resistance. It's just a bumpier ride than is necessary.
Well, the situation that happened in my life was, and I'm not sure.
Want to repeat it?
Sure. What it is
you want to live it again?
No.
Then don't talk about it.
No, that's not it. I met my twin flame, and I'm still with him. But it was a rough ride. Now we're all like, everything's great. But the ride during the time, it was like we had euphoria, and then we had everybody hating our union because he was younger than I was. And I'm still surprised that we're still going,
so
even though we had everything. I just want to know, I guess you kind of answered it as far as the desire ended up becoming more important than the resistance.
When you get into true alignment with who you are, and then that point of attraction happens, it sort of defies the logic of others who are still making their decisions based upon other criteria. But when you know it, and nothing that they say is going to keep you from moving in the direction of it. And so that's a really strong life experience that lets you know how you feel when you know something's right for you, and how under those conditions, how easy it is for you to disregard what anybody else thinks about it because they just don't know.
Yes, but it was also sad too, because my children didn't like the idea in the beginning, and they're finally like kind of being okay with it. But
do you have an active question? If you do, we want to answer it. But our question to you is it satisfying to activate past experiences that were sad?
Well, because I had some other recent situations similar to that, where I got a new job, but I was really very, very scared to take the job. But then I end up getting it, and it would end up being wonderful.
Sometimes you move into action too soon. Esther's knee was bothering her, and it didn't make sense to her. She didn't accept it as something that was permanent, and she didn't appreciate it at all. So she sat with us before meditation and wrote her question to us, and then meditated, and then began receiving. And we said to her, even though you know what you are relying on too much action and not enough thought flow.
Yeah, I can see that. Thinking too much.
Taking action too soon. Humans, especially those of you who want to be productive and who pride yourself in being productive, you tend to want to take action whether the energy flow is ready or not. And so in some resistance, you still move forward. And that's why it's bumpier, or that's why some aspect of you doesn't feel so good. The fun analogy that we like to offer is you don't try to vacuum your living room rug unless you've plugged your vacuum cleaner in. you can go through the same motions and you can make marks all over the rug, but it's really not doing the job that you want it to do. First you plug it in and then you take the action. And that's what we're encouraging, that is that if you just be a little more aware of what you are in the moment, because remember, this alignment is not like a college degree where once you've received it, it's yours forevermore. It either is or it isn't in the moment. And there are a lot of dynamics that can affect how in alignment you are. And sometimes busy people like you and busy people like Esther, she's got to go get on that airplane whether she feels like it or not. Well, wouldn't it be smarter for her to feel like it and then go than to go and then try to feel like it? In other words, so sometimes you go through the paces of your life and you check off the things that you feel responsible to, and you do the stuff that you need to do or that others expect you to do. But if you do that before you've taken the time to selfishly align yourself with your resources and your source, then you feel some bumps along the way, and that's all you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Too ready to act before you're really in alignment. That's all.
So what would be the best way to get even to more alignment, find the path of least resistance?
Just play this game of satisfied, unsatisfied. It'll just tune you right in. It takes care of everything. It really does. It's so much simpler. Don't let it get started. And if something already is started, everyone has those hot buttons. Like that, for example. Let's say that your culture is just disapproving of something that you've decided that you're going to do. And so there's a lot of momentum, let's say, in your culture about that. And there are not as many people saying, follow your bliss, as there are people saying, you should follow the protocol. And so you're feeling some bumps about that. Well, you're not going to be able to rein that in immediately, but if you start from a place of non-resistance and acknowledge how well your life is going and say general things like things are always working out for me, and I love knowing that I have guidance and I love utilizing my guidance, you can work the bugs out of all of those things.
Like, for instance, like the only thing that resistance anymore is his family. So if I just kind of love them and let them understand.
Do you see how addicted you are to talking about that?
You need to let it go.
It feels wrong to you. It feels like they should let it go, but it is active in your vibration, and it isn't anything that they're doing that's messing you up. It's you not letting go of that yet. Eventually you could maybe have a conversation with yourself that goes something like, wait a minute, they didn't prevent me from my happiness. They didn't cause it and they didn't stop it. I'm living happily ever after, and I know that they're glad about that. And I can't expect people to let go of everything that they believe and all of a sudden come over to the way I'm looking at something, nor do I need them to stop believing what they believe. If I have to wait for anybody else to come into complete alignment with me, then I'm never going to have any meaningful relationship with anybody ever. Even my twin flame. Even someone who I believe is my absolute soulmate. We are not in absolute agreement about everything. And if I demanded that we be, we could not be together. So why should I demand something of others? Why do I need anybody to believe anything in order for me to be happy? Because it's never been about me and them. It's always been about me and me. And once I get me and me lined up, then me and them works out just fine. And even if me and them doesn't work out just fine, because me and me is working out so fine, I'm not bothered about me and them not working out just fine. And I'm not unkind to them. I'm not unloving to them. I'm not saying you're not in my club, I'm in another club. I'm just tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And then the best of them comes to me. And if there's nothing in them that's best, then none of them comes. But what's so interesting, human dear hearts, is that you fixate sometimes on aspects of others that you don't like. And then when that part comes to you over and over again, you blame them. Esther has something that she likes to say. If you were just different, you'd be perfect.
I think another thing that has helped along that way is when I did tune in to what I wanted, and if there was resistance coming, I would just let it go. Like I followed what I wanted, and I would wanted to be with them.
But you didn't really. Here's what you were doing. We know this for sure, so just relax and hear this. It'll be really helpful to you. What you just explained to us is what we were talking about earlier, and we're going to speak as if we are you. My desire was so strong that it really didn't matter very much what they were saying. So that's what happened. Your desire just plain dominated. But when you began to focus upon pieces of it, then your desire became less dominant and you began pushing against them a little bit, and that's what causes the bumps. Can you feel the distinction? So now, hear what we've been talking about here today. Feel the difference between relief of letting go of resistance and satisfaction, which really has no satisfaction, and realize that you found relief through the direction of your thought, but now you're ready to find absolute satisfaction. And absolute satisfaction, what it's really about is not giving a rip what anybody else thinks, because they don't know. Because they don't know about me. They don't know about my vortex. They don't know about me in my life. They don't know what I lived. They don't know what I put in my vortex. They don't know what agreements I had coming in. They don't know about me and my relationship with my inner being. They can't possibly make good decisions for me or about me. Why would I expect them to? That's not their job. They can't do that. That's my job. I can do that. And in the absence of you not doing it, then you're mad at them. But in the presence of you doing it, you don't care what they're thinking. When you're in alignment, others who are negative toward you are invisible to you. When you're not in alignment, they're the main attraction.
Yeah.
Helpful?
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. Really, really, really good. It's like if someone has some aspects and you don't care for them and you give your attention to those aspects, then those are the aspects that are most often shown to you. Isn't that always the way it goes? Can't everybody be like the entire universe who has some of everything within them? Isn't that the way it always is? Doesn't everyone have wanted and unwanted? And do you really want everyone to become so just what you want? They have a lot of studying to do, and you better get more clear more quickly about what you want, and you better print out a very big list, and you better get a big email announcement out there fast. You might not know me yet, but you may run into me later, and when you do, these are my requirements for your behavior. And if you will meet those requirements, then when we meet, we're going to have a very good rendezvous. But otherwise, I can't take any credit for how it's going to go. So get ready for me, because here I come. That doesn't work out that well. But if you say, inner being, I seek alignment with you, and I'm looking for satisfaction, and you groom yourself into the powerful, clear, loving being that you are, and you get control of the thoughts that you think, then only that which is a vibrational match to you comes. And if you're getting a mixed bag, then you're thinking a mixed bag. If you're getting some of what you want and some of what you don't want, that means you're thinking about some of all of that. And that's not terrible. That's some step 5 stuff going on. But you see what we're getting at? You do. We think you do. We have loved every minute of this day. There is so much love here for you. And for now, we are complete.